So we've just had the announcement of the brand new iPhone SE 5G model, with such capabilities of a brand new A15 chipset, better camera, and of course 5G. However, how does this compare to the likes of the normal iPhone 13 that is out there right now? Well, today I want to do a comparison video for you, and the best way to do this is run some slides showing you the differences. So what we have here on the left side is the iPhone 13, and on the right we have the brand new iPhone SE with 5G capability in it. I'm going to refer to this as the iPhone SE 5G in this comparison. So let's begin first of all with the display type, and this is probably one of the big notable changes that you're going to see here, is that with the iPhone 13 you have a full screen literally from edge to edge, but with the iPhone SE you've still got that older design from the last iPhone SE and also the iPhone 8. Also a big difference is the iPhone 13 uses an OLED display, whereas the iPhone SE 5G uses an LCD display, but it is still a Retina display. But for the actual screen sizes, there also is a big difference here. The iPhone 13 is bigger in volume in your hand as well, but it comes in at 6.1 inches, whereas the iPhone SE has a 4.7 inch display, so it is definitely smaller, but at least you don't get that notch inside it. For screen resolution, what you get here, you get the aspect ratio first of all with the iPhone 13 by 19 by 5 by 9, but then with the iPhone SE it's 16 by 9, but for the actual sort of resolution from corner to corner and everything, it's 2532 by 1170 on the iPhone 13, but on the iPhone SE it's 1334 by 750. But what that means is, in pixels per inch, is that the iPhone 13 gives you 460 pixels per inch, whereas the iPhone SE gives you 326 pixels per inch. So the iPhone 13 is definitely a much more sharper picture. For refresh rate, they're basically the same for the iPhone 13 standard model and also the iPhone 13 SE 5G. I'm not going to compare it to the likes of a Pro model, what does have a ProMotion 120Hz refresh rate, but both these models just have a standard 60Hz refresh rate. For display protection, the iPhone 13 has that ceramic shield that came along with the iPhone 12, but the iPhone SE for the first time also has ceramic shield on its front glass and also on its rear glass to give even more protection from scratches and bangs on the floor to stop it from cracking. For processor and CPU, we're basically getting like for like in both of these models. The iPhone 13 comes with an A15 Bionic and so does the iPhone SE. They both have the exact same chip inside them, there's no differences here. And also the same for RAM amounts. Both of these models come now with 4GB of RAM in both of the actual models. For storage though, things do change a bit here. So starting with the iPhone 13, the base storage that you can pick for this model is 128GB of storage, and that goes all the way up to 512GB of storage. But with the iPhone SE, it retains that base 64GB option, what we had with the last iPhone SE, but this time it goes all the way up to 256GB, and we can also still pick 128GB. As both of these models are iPhone, they're made by Apple's, there is no expansional storage, and I don't believe there ever will be in any iPhones in the future to come. For operating system, both of these phones come out of the box with iOS 15 installed on them, and at this stage we're about to get iOS 15.4. Next of all, we have the battery sizes, and this is where there are some massive differences here. So with the iPhone 13, we get a 3095 milliamp battery inside it, but for the iPhone SE, we get a 1821 milliamp battery inside it. And to be honest, that is the same size battery as we got in the last generation iPhone SE, and again, that is the same battery again that we got in the iPhone 8. But Apple believes with the A15 inside this iPhone SE that you should be able to get a little bit more battery life out of it, but there again you do have 5G antennas, so that is going to be pulling on the battery as well, so maybe you'll get something very similar to the last generation iPhone SE battery life, but Apple are claiming you are going to get something a bit better. So just quickly, while we're doing these comparisons, I want to talk about the channel giveaway that we're doing right now, and it is for this. It is for an iPhone 13 Pro Max in silver white, and I'm going to be giving this away to one lucky subscriber when we get over 350,000 subscribers, and it's not that far away. And all I want to know from you guys in the comments below is, are you going to be buying any of that new Apple tech that's just been announced, or are you going to be buying any other Apple tech or other type of technology in 2022? Write it down in the comments below, and as I said, when we get over 350,000 subscribers, I'll be announcing who the winner is via doing a video on this channel. So that means if you are new here and you want to enter into this giveaway, make sure that you've hit the subscribe button and also the notification bell to be in your chance on this iPhone 13 Pro Max on this international giveaway. But I will just quickly mention as well, guys, there are a lot of spammers and a lot of scammers out there, sadly. Some of them are even impersonating me, telling you to WhatsApp them or to Telegram them. Ignore them completely. This is not me at all. Like I said, I'll be announcing that winner over 350,000 subscribers, and it'll be done via video on this channel. Well, without further ado, guys, let's put this down and let's go back down to the comparison. For charging your actual iPhone 13 and the new iPhone SE, there is one big difference here, what I'll talk about in just a second. But for actual wired charging, both of these phones now have lightning capability of charging. As long as you plug it into a USB-C end at the other end, you get 20 watts of charging. Remember, both these phones do not have a charger inside, so you will have to find your own 20-watt charger to charge an iPhone SE or the iPhone 13. And that's also the same for wireless charging. There's no wireless charger in the box. But the difference is the iPhone 13 does have MagSafe capability, and that can charge at 15 watts, whereas the iPhone SE, very similar to the last generation and also the iPhone 8, it can only charge at 7 watts, but there is no MagSafe with this. But at least you know, if you wanted to do wireless charging, the iPhone SE does have the capability to do this. Moving on to the actual weight, as you can imagine, as the iPhone 13 is a bit more larger, it does weigh a little bit more at 173 grams, whereas the iPhone SE 5G weighs in at 148 grams. Then for water resistance, the iPhone 13 has IP68, what allows it go into depths of 6 meters under clear water up to 30 minutes, whereas the iPhone SE 5G can go only up to 1 meter up to 30 minutes with its IP67 range on there. Then moving on for ports, what we actually have on the phone is basically one of them. So we have the lightning ports on the bottom center of the phones for both the iPhone 13 and the iPhone SE, and that is a lightning connector. There is no headphone port on either of these phones. Then moving on after this, we have stereo speakers, what is also on the bottom and also on the top of the phone, and both the iPhone 13 and the iPhone SE does provide stereo speakers. For 5G capability, for the first time, the iPhone SE is getting this, and the iPhone 13 also has this as well. And also, if you are in the USA, you also get mmWave as well on both of these phones. For Bluetooth capability, they both have the same technology of Bluetooth 5.0, so no changes there. But for the rear cameras, things are very different between both of these phones. For the iPhone 13, you get a 12 megapixel wide and a 12 megapixel ultra wide, and you can record up to 4K on this iPhone 13, so it's a dual lens phone. But on the iPhone SE, as it's retaining basically the same camera inside it, you get a 12 megapixel wide and up to 4K video as well. But do remember, you do have that A15 chipset inside the iPhone SE, so anything you do take on that little single lens on the back, it's going to be far better than what you got with the A13 with this. Then for the rear camera features, what you get with the iPhone 13 is a little bit more than what you get with the iPhone SE. So you get things like quad tone flash, 5x digital zoom, night mode, deep fusion, smart HDR3, Apple Pro RAW, cinematic and sensor shift inside the iPhone 13. But with the iPhone SE, you do also still get that quad tone flash on the back now, and you also get 5x digital zoom, night mode, deep fusion, and you also get smart HDR3. But overall, features for the back of the iPhone 13 do definitely beat what you get with the iPhone SE, but it doesn't mean the iPhone SE can't take some good snaps. But looking at the front of the iPhones, what you get here is you get a 12 megapixel camera on both of these phones, and they can both record up to 4K video. But the iPhone 13's camera does sit in a notch, what is actually 20% smaller than previous notches like on the iPhone 10 all the way up to the iPhone 12, but with the iPhone SE it sits in that kind of bar at the top next to the speaker. Moving on to price then, the most important factor. With the iPhone 13, if you want to get the base model, it comes in at $799 for the 128GB model. But for the iPhone SE, it actually now starts at $429. This is $29 more than what the last iPhone SE cost, and you get a 64GB model for that. For colours wise, what you get here, you get 6 colours with the iPhone 13. You get black, white, red, pink, blue, and that new green. But with the iPhone SE, what you get now is black, white, red, and that is it. So, what iPhone model will you be buying in 2022? So as you can see, overall there are a lot of shared components like the A15 chip and also 5G capability, but the iPhone 13 is going to be definitely a better phone. At the end of the day, you do pay more money for it. It comes with a better screen, a larger screen, better battery life. I could just go on and on with the different features that you get extra. However, for the budget iPhone SE, yeah, it is still a fantastic phone. And if you want that full-on Apple experience in 2022 and for many years to come on a budget line, and to be honest, the most powerful budget phone out there right now, and probably will be for many years to come, you can't go wrong with getting yourself the brand new iPhone SE. Well guys, it's also time to wrap up this video, so if you have enjoyed watching it, please do press the like button, and also at the same time as well, if you want the latest Apple news, reviews and comparisons like this one, please also make sure you hit the subscribe button, followed by the notification bell. Until next time guys, I will see you really soon. Bye bye.